This is Matt Hurt at Obsessive Viewer on Twitter.
This is Tiny at Obsessive Tiny on Twitter.
And this is Mike at I am Mike White on Twitter.
And this is ObsessiveViewer.com's The Obsessive Viewer Podcast, live at our booth at Indy PopCon 2014.
We're still here.
This
is day 3.
Yes, this is day 3, and we've got some people passing by. They're really interested in this.
Mm-hmm. I wish we could stay here.
I know.
Dude,
this is great.
I was heartbroken when you picked me up this morning because I was like, this is the last day.
So bittersweet.
It really is.
Yeah. It is.
It's been such a blast. We've already, this morning, I paid for our booth for next year. So we will be back here next year.
It's really cool. We met a lot of cool people.
So many cool people.
Famous people and semi-famous people who we're going to try to keep in contact with. So that's pretty fun.
It's been such a blast. So we figured that with all the editing that I'm going to have to do in the coming days, figured it would be best to record an extended potpourri because it's Sunday. You know, things are kind of winding down here a little bit. People are hustling and bustling to all their other different booths and all that. So what we're doing is we're going to just do an extended potpourri.
Extended potpourri with an early focus.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about Days of Future Past, and we kind of wanted to talk about it while it was fresh on our minds and while kind of before the moment passed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we're talking about today.
Before the moment Days of Future Past. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
It's been 3 days. We've been recording.
Oh, man.
All weekend. Yeah. I'm tired.
What were the conditions under which you guys saw the movie?
Tiny, do you want to run with this?
Yeah, Matt and I saw it together, like we normally do.
Yes.
We did hold hands, but only briefly.
Mm-hmm.
We went to... we went to Trader's Point for that one?
Yeah, I believe it's Trader's Point.
We've been seeing so many movies, I can hardly keep it straight anymore.
I know. It's funny because, Mike, you're famous on the podcast for seeing a movie every week. And
I am famous, yeah.
Yes. And we've done that. We've been doing that for about a month or so. It's been kind of just what's happened.
By happenstance, so it's not you're not trying to keep it going.
Yeah, not planned or anything.
Okay.
So, did we see, I think we saw it on, was it opening day that we saw it? Friday?
I want to say it was Friday because I wanted to get my review up as soon as possible. It might have been Saturday because I think I did. I posted it on Sunday.
It was Saturday. We went for an after because I remember it was the day before the race.
That's right.
So
race weekend.
I was all focused on the race. I wasn't even really in the best mood to see a movie, especially something so awesome like this.
Yeah.
So my mind was elsewhere going into the theater, but man, did I get ripped right back. So,
yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah.
I saw the movie on a Thursday night, like usual. They've been doing a lot of early screenings of movies. I mean, this is a common trend. People know this. That a lot of times you can see a movie like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock the day before it comes out. A lot of Thursday releases. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if it's a 20th Century Fox decision, but they don't go any earlier than 10.
Huh.
Their movies don't. Their premieres don't go any earlier than 10 the day before. So this was one of the later ones. Luckily, I didn't have a whole lot to do the next day at work, but I was a little tired, and so we saw it at 10, and I loved it.
Nice.
What about, we're going to save probably a discussion about X-Men and the movies for later, but just kind of briefly, what experience or what knowledge of the X-Men did you guys have going in?
I had kind of little. I mean, I haven't read the comics, but when I was a kid, I was a big fan of the animated cartoon, and if I remember correctly... I love you for that so much. I recently bought them all on DVD. I think I mentioned it in a past episode. I haven't started it yet because I'm still getting through some other stuff, but I can't wait. It was so worth it. Right now, we're looking at the girl from Battlestar Galactica talk to Esme Bianco, and my mind is blowing a little bit right now.
Oh, my God. Oh, is she waving at us?
She's waving at us.
Oh, my God.
This is awesome.
That's funny.
This is so great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But so all my knowledge is from the animated series, and if I remember correctly, I think that was actually pretty loyal to the comics, from what I've heard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. Totally.
So that's my experience with X-Men.
Maddie?
I have an interesting experience with X-Men. I was also a huge fan of the cartoons, at least what I can remember of them. I remember, and I mentioned this on the website, which, by the way, I reviewed I'll get to that in a moment, but I reviewed every movie in the franchise leading up to Days of Future Past, which is why I could kind of drag Tiny to see it on that Saturday, because I wanted to get it posted as quickly as possible.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you. So basically, I loved the cartoons. When I was a kid and I was growing up in Stowe, Ohio, shout out, my friends and I, we would play X-Men, and we would always argue over who would be who and all that stuff.
Who did you get to be?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Rogue?
Yeah, Rogue, Kitty Pryde. No. I'm pretty sure I wanted to be Nightcrawler, because I think that was my favorite one.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, when watching
I was always Wolverine because I was covered in hair.
Nice.
What do you mean was?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just kidding, buddy.
The point is, as a kid, I was covered in hair. It's tragic.
Nice. So,
or Beast.
Oh, yeah.
There you
nice.
go.
Good pick. So, I mean, I had experience with that. I never really read the comics, but then once I got into the...
This is a first. Someone's hitting us up to charge their cell phone.
Yeah.
You have to take a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take a card.
Take a card, check out the podcast.
And you got to come over to here to the microphone and tell us who your favorite X-Man is.
X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you into X-Men at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolverine is my favorite X-Men.
Okay.
Good
Did you
pick.
see the new movie?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
And you?
Cool.
Eating the Twix.
Cool. This might be a new revenue stream for us. People who want to charge their phones.
Mine's had to be X-Men too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Can't go wrong.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. All right,
So, where were we at?
who were you when you were little?
I want to be Nightcrawler. I loved Nightcrawler. I kind of forgot. I never really read the comics or anything, but then once the movie started coming out, the first two, the Bryan Singer movies came out, I mean, I was just floored by them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I loved them, and then that was kind of the kickoff, I guess, of the big, huge comic book renaissance movie, I guess, comic book movie renaissance. So I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then The Last Stand happened, and then I kind of got disconnected from it. And then now this was probably the first I hadn't even seen, because like I said on the website,
like that you say The Last Stand happened.
It happened. Brett Ratner
There was
happened.
the Last Stand incident.
Exactly. So Brett Ratner happened to the franchise, and then I kind of stepped away, and then never saw Origins, never saw the Wolverine even last year. And then for this little project I did, this franchise review on the website, which you can find at obsessiveviewer.com, there's a tab. I just revisited all of them, and that was the kind of the condition that I saw Days of Future Past in. I wasn't too familiar with the Days of Future Past arc in the comics, but I went into it in the context of the franchise, so I had the good and the bad of the franchise fresh in my mind. And I mean, I was expecting to like it, and I was blown away.
Yeah. I'm a big X-Men fan. Read the comics currently, read the comics for several years, have a ton of the action figures, love the movies. I saw all the movies in theaters and most of the movies at midnight releases or before.
Wow.
So I was coming in with a working knowledge, and I would say that coming into this, I was looking to see, I guess this is a good transition into actually talking about the movie. So the excitement about the movie was that we know that it's a sequel of sorts to First Class, which most people say is the best one.
Yeah, and I had an interesting... sorry, I don't mean to cut in.
No.
I had an interesting experience with First Class because I hadn't seen the first... I hadn't seen Origins, I hadn't seen the Wolverine, and I got to First Class late, and I was expecting to be floored by it. Everyone...
Mike.
Everyone loved it and everything, and I was all like into it. I was like, I was still kind of a little burned by the The Last Stand even, I didn't really get into it as much as I did. Now, when I went through it, someone's wearing a shirt that says Winterfell Direwolves, like a sports shirt.
Oh, that's great.
So awesome.
I love America.
So when I revisited it for this project, I was just, is that Nightwing?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, awesome, that's cool. So when I went back for this project, I saw it again, and it was like I was just flooded with just so much happiness that I got it. It was so great. Yeah.
Tiny, did you like First Class?
Oh, I loved it. I said, again, in a past episode, I said I was looking forward to X-Men Days of Future Past so much because it has pretty much my two current favorite actors in it, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
And so I was beyond excited for First Class just for that reason. Kind of have a huge crush on J. Laws, and
yes.
I was just excited to see another X-Men movie. And I was excited about Matt Vaughn directing it. So, yeah.
Are those fembots?
They were. I got a picture of them. They have Austin Powers with them, too. So.
Oh, yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
Very cool.
I like the reference.
Dave from Happy Endings is here.
Nice.
So anyway, so it's kind of the benchmark. So let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, let's jump into the meat of the movie. So how great was it? It was awesome.
Fantastic. I'm having trouble. I have to rank things, and I'm wondering. The first thing I gotta say is I still don't know. I'll have to see it again before I decide if it's better than First Class.
Okay.
And I guess I can give you guys the pros and cons. I'll try to see if you guys can help me figure out why. First Class, to me, if I'm thinking just off the top of my head and what I thought as soon as the movie was over, that First Class had more of an emotional pull. Would you guys agree with that? There's the scene at the end when Xavier gets shot in the back, or Magneto moves the bullet to shoot him in the back, and it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen, and I audibly gasped when it happens. And you really get the struggle that they're going for with mutant kind. You finally understand why, how they went from being friends to frenemies, I guess you could say. But just their arc, I don't want to say Days of Future Past was crowded, because it's not. It's one of my favorite phrases to throw around is near perfect, and I thought it was a near perfect superhero movie. But because there was so much going on and there was more pull from other characters, I felt like the emotional pull with Xavier and Magneto was a little more of the focal point in First Class.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Okay.
I can't argue with you on that. I think bringing up the emotional pull, that's perfect, because they hit those marks so well in these two movies. I think they're kind of on par, but I think with the second film they went deeper, or maybe a little darker, in my opinion. Yeah,
they did go darker, and I'm going to jump forward and say I'll tell you right now what my favorite scene in the movie was. And it wasn't the Quicksilver scene, which is an amazing scene.
It's such a great scene.
Yeah. My favorite part is when Magneto, when they're at the point in the movie, in the time stream, where Mystique is about to shoot Bolivar Trask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? And Magneto kind of comes to the realization, it hits him, that he's best to just shoot Mystique. That's the best scene in the movie for me.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
It was a lot. It was a heavy scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Good choice.
Yeah, thank you.
And I love the whole... I mean, they weren't too heavy on the time travel. In terms of the time travel, I'm a huge nerd for time travel. I absolutely love it so much. And they snuck in, or they kind of put in these little like flashes of Wolverine, kind of like he's disrupting the time stream. And like in that one scene, like he's experiencing all the stuff, and it's just really cool. It's like it's not overplayed. The time travel stuff isn't overplayed. It's just really great. Speaking of time travel, guys walking by with a Back to the Future shirt. Awesome. I don't think you heard me, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a great vehicle, but not the focal point.
Exactly,
and that's when it's used best.
I actually can't describe my favorite scene, because it's the last scene of the film. It brought me to tears, and I hadn't seen the other X-Men movies in a long time. I need to go back and rewatch them. I think the scene will mean even more to me. Just because I love so much what they did with the character of Logan and Wolverine in this movie. Matt mentioned that so much of the earlier films have been so focused on Wolverine and Logan, and it kind of would have been refreshing to have someone else, but I feel like we got such a different Wolverine. We got a lot of Logan, and he was so subdued and so calm and such a nice, pleasant guy. It was different from the kind of the jerky, jerk kind of Wolverine we've had in the past several movies.
The animal Wolverine.
Getting a lot of action at the booth right now.
We are, yeah.
Our friend Yuri, who refuses
to be on the podcast.
Hi, guys.
Oh, wow. Oh, groundbreaking.
We're going to have to warble that, too.
We will, yeah. And then Jenny also is not interested, apparently.
The movie for a change was not Wolverine's movie, and I'm so okay with that.
Yeah.
And it so could have been. It really could have been. I not to say that it would have made it better or worse or anything. I'm just saying that it would have been an easy storytelling device.
Sure.
But they didn't do that, and they were playing a lot of. They were doing a lot of backtracking, I guess, throughout it to kind of fix things. And I know you have comments about that, Mike. But I just thought that it was just really great. The pacing of it was just really wonderful.
It was. I'm just trying to look for things not to like about it, just to be as critical as I can be. And there is a point in the movie where Wolverine doesn't need to be there anymore, and that kind of bummed me out. But when he's in the past, I would say when Magneto comes along, I don't know. It's just interesting how passive Wolverine's presence in the movie was. He really, was not very good at doing what he was supposed to do. Yeah. He came back and kind of said, here's the deal, this is what's going on. In fact, the emotional climactic scene with Xavier and getting him to kind of stop taking his medication and use Cerebro and going, Wolverine couldn't even convince him to do that. Yeah. It took Xavier talking to himself.
Right.
I think that was a great choice, though, because
it is a good choice. I mean to say that it's a good choice. Yeah.
And that scene was amazing.
Because he has such a smash and grab kind of style as Wolverine, but this required charisma and poise, which is really cool to see.
There's the scene where Magneto comes in. I don't know how heavy we're going to get here, so I'm going to try to keep it somewhat vague. There's a scene where Magneto kind of dispatches Wolverine in the climactic action set piece. From that point on, the urgency of the movie kind of goes away. Because from that point on, whatever happens to the future X-Men has nothing to do with him. And so as they're sitting there, and Kitty Pryde, by the way, who sends Logan back to the past with her mutated powers. I don't know. That's a change.
That's kind of strange.
But anyway, she sends him to the past, and as she's holding his head and the Sentinels are coming in and trying to take over, the whole time I'm thinking, I don't know what the pressure is right here. If Wolverine dies, or if she dies, or if whomever dies, doesn't matter, because what had to happen in the past still happened. Right. And so the scene where the Sentinel comes in and it's inches away from killing Kitty Pryde is not nearly as dramatic or timely as they make it out to seem.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll have to see it again. I didn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I was just floored by it from beginning to end. And
make no mistake, it was fun to watch.
Absolutely. And we talked around the last scene, and we obviously we're not going to spoil it or anything. But I just want to talk about really quick.
Try not to.
But I want to talk about the music. The score in this movie was amazing. It was a really good emotional kind of. It really tugged at the emotional core of the story. And speaking of the emotional core of the story, probably my favorite scene of the movie is the one after Logan's reunited Magneto and Xavier, and it's on the plane, and they have their first conversation in like a decade or whatever, and it's just such a powerful scene between the two because they spell out exactly what's gone on between them. They bring up Mystique. It's a big point in their falling out between the two of them, I guess. I thought that was really cool. I wasn't expecting something quite like that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I have some notes. The movie is Xavier and Magneto, and I talked about the scene where Magneto decides he needs to shoot Mystique is brilliant. What I wanted to say about that is I think it is the biggest reason... Maybe I shouldn't say it because of the... There's a scene at the end where a character makes a choice, and that character makes the choice that character makes because of Magneto's scenes from earlier. Maybe we'll have to say this for a time where spoils won't be so bad.
Huge tiptoe right there.
Yeah.
On your part.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the scene with Mimic. Just throwing people off here.
Nice. Sentinels.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of the 90s cartoon, but I do remember just loving the idea of the Sentinels. The Sentinels being these huge monstrous machines that hunt the mutants.
Yeah.
I was so into that as a kid, and that's one of the things that's been just completely missing from the franchise up until this point.
Yeah.
Except for the one thing I can't understand, and it even rectifies it in this version. Is that like in The Last Stand, like they have a Sentinel, but it's in a training ground thing, and I'm thinking like when I saw that I was like, why the hell is there a Sentinel if they don't exist yet? And then they even rectified that in here because it was developed in the 70s.
Sure.
So I just loved the depiction of the Sentinels. I thought the action sequence at the beginning was just jaw-droppingly awesome. A great way to hook the audience in from the start. What did you guys think of the Sentinels in this movie?
They're good. I was a little confused at first about how Mystique's power helps them recreate mutant powers. That's not really how Mystique's power works.
Right.
I think they took some liberties with that. She really just transforms, and she can't do the powers that other people can do, the bodies she inhibits. So how I kind of made peace with that in my own mind was that it wasn't so much that her power was helping them replicate the powers. It's that her power gave them the ability to figure out how to transform into things, and then they, over time, figured out how to give the Sentinels powers.
Yeah.
Is it on? Okay. Yep.
No problem.
You're welcome. Yeah, how much more do we have on that?
Not a whole lot. I love. We should probably move on. We can't really get into too big of a discussion if we can't talk about spoils. I will say I love the first class cast, and I love that the movie kind of ends in a way that says that that's the cast they're sticking with.
Yeah.
I think. And of course we know that the next movie is going to be the first class cast, and it's going to be set in the 80s, which I can't wait to see.
Have they confirmed it's going to be set in the 80s?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but...
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. That started with the 60s. This movie was in the 70s, so they're going to go with the 80s.
I was going to say something about that. I can't remember now. I lost it. Yeah, how did you feel, Mike, about... I know that there is some dissension amongst some of the critics who even love this movie, saying that it was kind of heavy on the mystique, and a lot of people are saying that they feel like she was written into a much more substantial role. Like you mentioned, her mutation not really fitting in with the story of what they're doing.
Right.
And a lot of people are saying it's because, well, Jennifer Lawrence is an Oscar-winning actress.
Yeah.
And they want to
an overrated Oscar-winning actress.
You think so?
I can't wait to see your faces.
Oh.
She's not that. I'm so over Jennifer Lawrence. It's not even funny.
You know,
she phoned in Mystique. Okay, I think she's overrated. She won her Oscar for...
was it Winter's Bone?
Silver Linings
Playbook, right. She was nominated for Winter's Bone. She was great, fantastic in both of those movies. But I think ever since she got famous, she's been phoning it in.
Disagree.
Disagree? I just don't think she's that good.
Maybe not
I didn't
as
think
good.
she was good in American Hustle, and I didn't think she was good in in this movie. She didn't seem to me like she wanted to be there. It was reminiscent of Kirsten Dunst in Spider-Man 3.
That's
oh man,
I got to call you out on that.
In how much she doesn't want to be there.
Oh,
completely disagree.
I'm going to stick with it.
Okay,
I'm going to stick with it. I thought she was pretty terrible.
Okay, well, fair enough. I love her. I think she's awesome.
Yeah. She's okay. So what do people have a problem with? How much of
maybe it's the comic purists that have a problem.
How important she is to the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I don't really have a problem with that either. I think I've said on a podcast a couple episodes ago that I really have had to let go of them messing with canon. I mean, if they do things inside their own universe, that's kind of a bugaboo. But I'm not really hung up on how they translate the comics to the movies. I kind of got over that when Spider-Man 2 came out and was not as close as Spider-Man 1 was to the thing.
Oh, okay.
Source material. Yeah, I apologize.
No, that's fine. I'm sorry.
And so, I mean, they changed a lot of the story. They called it Days of Future Past, but it was Kitty Pryde who went back to the past in the comic book arc, which I feel like I have to mention. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was okay that it was Wolverine, so I'm okay with them really, really messing with things. I'm a little bummed that I don't feel like she did all that big of a job, all that good of a job. But I do feel like her importance is warranted, because she's the biggest.
Announcements.
Yeah, because she's the biggest emotional pull between Magneto and Xavier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that felt really, really good. How they tied that together in a way, in that way. Mike, you mentioned the Days of Future Past arc in the comics. I take it you've read it. Have you?
No, I actually haven't. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then.
So that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's all right.
Very good.
So, anything else we need to talk about Days of Future Past?
I don't think so.
We could probably easily do a whole episode.
Yeah, we could.
Totally could.
We hit the major parts.
Let's cut it off at 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I at our booth here, we had my friend Fekkes came up and my friend Fekkes, Robert Fekkes, he came up and talked to him for a long time about Days of Future Past and comics.
Let's hear his thoughts.
Yeah, here it is.
Hey, do you like drinking?
Love it.
Do you like playing Dungeons & Dragons?
Absolutely.
Then there's a podcast for you.
Really?
DnDUI.com.
That's amazing.
DnDUI.com, a podcast and webcomic about drinking ourselves under the tabletop.
I wanted to ask you about like X-Men and all that, but if you wanted to just record it another time or whatever.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
I
cool.
got plenty of time.
Yeah, I take it you've seen Dave's Future Past.
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved it.
Me too. Yeah. Tell me how you felt about it.
First of all, I love how they were just kind of like, I felt like the whole movie was just shoving Brett Ratner's face out of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
I was like, yeah, get away.
Yeah.
Just stay over there in the corner where you belong. Thanks. So I just kind of righted some of the wrongs from Last Stand.
Yeah.
And, I've tried really hard to enjoy Last Stand, and I've watched it a couple of times again just to give it another shot, and I just can't get past it.
Yeah, it's just not, and I knew going into it, and again, circling back to the whole decade ago review things, like, I did Spider-Man 2, and at the end of it, I said something like, this is the best comic book movie ever, except for when X-Men 3 comes out in a couple years. Yeah. And I'm like, I just had to hit my head like, I was so naive.
What was I thinking?
Yeah, but,
it's silly. It's silly things about the movie that bother me are like, the final fight scene where it's like all the Brotherhood versus 6 X-Men, and Wolverine, he falls down to the ground, and he comes up and goes, okay, hold this line. Like, what's so special about this line? Yeah. You're about to fight 100 guys, and you're like, hold this line, because if one gets past this, we're done. Yeah. They can stay 5 feet ahead of the line, but hold this line. And it's not a football game, Wolverine.
Right, and the one that's gotten through is the Juggernaut.
Right.
So, and which... Vinny Jones? Vinny Jones.
Oh, they threw the internet meme in there. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I hate it so much.
Yeah. And it's something silly like Angel in the movie, okay? Uh-huh. He comes to the mansion in Westchester, New York.
Yeah.
Now, the X-Men get in their supersonic jet to go make the fight in San Francisco.
Sure.
Which, I guess, a supersonic jet, a few hours, maybe 4 or 5.
Right.
Angel, with just wings, just shows up out of the blue at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure an oversized bird would probably still take about weeks to get to. So he probably would have been 2 weeks saving his father. His father would have been fallen and dead.
Yeah.
So it bothered me that Angel is as fast as a supersonic jet.
Yeah.
So
just little like anachronisms like that are just it's not even that. That's not even like if it was just that, it would be forgivable.
Right.
Like
but
just those. But
they
it
just
was,
stack up
yeah.
on. Like the Brotherhood of Mutants is just camping now. I feel like they
Yeah.
should have been roasting s'mores
exactly.
or something. It's like, well, we're in this big wooded area. We have the most powerful mutant in the world here that can build a neighborhood out of the trees here.
Yeah.
Have fun with your tent.
Yeah, it's so, and they kind of had this grungy kind of look to them. I don't know if it's like that in the comics, but it felt like an 80s or early 90s dystopian future kind of little game,
right?
Like a Mad Max kind of like gang or something.
Right, Rejects. Yeah,
it was like, ugh, I was not a fan. And then,
but X-Men: Days of Future Past. Yes,
back
to that one.
Yeah,
I felt like they. I like. And I understand why they made Wolverine the mutant to go back in time.
Yeah.
Because Hugh Jackman, first of all, big name. Mm-hmm. Second of all, it kind of fits with the timeline. So I'm okay with that choice. Besides, Wolverine's such an iconic character.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a good choice. And besides, they rationalized it very well.
Right.
But
it made, like, I didn't know going into it that in the comics it was Kitty Pryde that went back.
Yes.
And I was like, as soon as in the movie when he was like, well, I can go back and all that, I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, that makes sense. It makes
I was like, I can watch a movie with Wolverine again. You know, that's fine.
What did you think of the post-credits scene?
Oh, I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the scene, I went, Egypt! Egypt! I wasn't sure how they were going to portray Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Because in the comic books, he's the first documented mutant.
Okay.
So I didn't know if they were going to show him like a kind of a modern, what's Apocalypse doing now thing. So I'm glad that they kind of just foreshadowed his past.
Yeah.
Like, this is Apocalypse. And Apocalypse in the comic books looks very kind of mechanized, very kind of machine looking. So I kind of like the way he's portrayed in the scene,
right?
Just kind of simple, Pharaoh type of deal. So
yeah,
I'm really interested to see how this works out, and I'm really hoping Hugh Jackman comes back for this one. I've heard some. He may not. He may. Right. He's on the fence. I think as soon as they dump that pile of money in front of his doorstep, he'll probably
it sounds like just a money ploy, but more power to him. I don't.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, he's one of the driving forces behind the entire series.
Absolutely,
so no reason for him. I mean, he's the Robert Downey Jr. of this series right now.
Which that's a good point too. Is when I was in the theater, I knew that there was a post-credit scene. And, like, the whole theater, like, stayed. Like, there was, like, a few people that left. And then, like, as the credits are rolling, I'm sitting there thinking, like, are they here because they know that there's a post-credit scene? Or has Marvel Studios made them, conditioned them to stay for the credits?
It's probably half and half. At this point, everyone knows that once you get done with the Marvel movie, you're going to get a post-credit scene. In fact, when I saw Spider-Man 2... I stayed because I assumed there's going to be something. And the only thing I really got was the little X-Men.
How'd you feel about that?
I hated that. It made no sense to me.
Yeah, I thought it was so...
It was cool, but I was confused when I saw Days of Future Past. I was like, where's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
By the way, Mike, this is Robert Fekkes, my friend. And Fekkes...
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Fekkes Mike, yeah. So, yeah, that's... And I also thought, like, after X-Men Days of Future Past, I was sitting there like, okay, like, this is like the weekend that Edgar Wright dropped out of Ant-Man.
So disappointed about that.
Dude. Yeah.
And I wasn't a fan. I'm glad it didn't turn out. It turned out that he's going to say no, but Adam McKay.
Yeah. I was like...
I like Adam McKay's movies, but I don't see him fitting that mold as a...
Yeah.
Then again, I would have said the same for Jon Favreau with Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hate to say things like that because I know I've been surprised in the past.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I was just so pumped for Edgar Wright.
Me too. And he's been working on it for so long.
Right. I'm curious of what creative differences came up.
Me too. Well, I heard that there were, like, rumors that Marvel kept wanting to get rewrites. Like, they gave him a bunch of notes, and then eventually they were rewriting it as they were getting the notes. but it wasn't enough to their liking, so they just hired in-house low-level writers to redo the script. And then gave it to them. I guess this was over Feige's head too, so I guess he was it was higher up than him. And
that's a shame.
Yeah, and it's such a bummer because they're so. What they've done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is they've taken so many risks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like...
So why not let this director kind of have his hand
exactly.
in it?
And it's like, I get the sense maybe they don't want like a comedic kind of portrayal or something like that.
I'm not so sure he would have done that, though.
I don't think so either, but maybe they're getting a little shy about that, but they've got to know that Guardians is going to kill it.
Oh,
it's going to be fantastic. So, I don't know. It's such a bummer.
Speaking of Guardians, did you see the big announcement this week?
Of Josh Brolin?
Yeah. They kept that so tightly under wraps. I can't believe that it went this long. I mean, that comes out in 2 months. And
exactly. I heard about it when we were in the theater for Blended, and like it was before the trailer started, and I was checking Facebook, and I saw it, and I like whispered to Mike, I was like, have they announced that yet?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, it's a huge, huge character.
It is. And I'm not so sure that Thanos is going to have the major role in this movie.
Right.
But with Phase 3 with Marvel, he's going to be one of the main protagonists. I mean, he was alluded to in the Avengers.
Right.
You have Gamora, who's actually the daughter of Thanos.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the Quicksilver scene in Days of Future Past?
Loved I love Quicksilver.
Yeah.
I thought... First of all, I don't know if you guys know, but Quicksilver and Black Widow, or not Black Widow,
Scarlet
Witch.
Yeah,
they're twins, and they're the children of Magneto.
Yeah.
So I loved the little quip in the movie. It's like, my mom knew a guy that could do that. I was like,
See, I didn't know that until I saw the post-credit scene for
Avengers,
or
for Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier, and I was talking to Mike because Mike is kind of our resident comic book guy. And he explained, he was like, yeah, they're the daughter or the son and daughter of Magneto, and so when I'd forgotten about that, and then when that line came, I was like, that's brilliant, that's
right.
Awesome.
Just the way they had just a little inside joke for people in the know. I thought it was great.
That whole sequence was just insanely awesome.
And actually, when I saw the trailer and I saw parts of that sequence, I almost thought for a second that it looked a little cheesy and overdone.
Yeah.
Until I saw the movie, and it was perfect. All the little fun things he was doing during the
awesome, just moving slightly here and there.
Right. And I was actually disappointed that was all he was in the movie. I was kind of expecting a larger role for him.
Me too, but I mean, it seems like they're really laying the groundwork for future movies for him.
Right.
I think, and it made me wonder, it's that again, between Edgar Wright leaving and they have Days of Future Past kind of taking the lead, I guess, in having Quicksilver on the screen, and they have Aaron Taylor Johnson playing him in the Marvel universe,
right?
And then Evan Peters did such a great job. I kind of wonder if Aaron Taylor Johnson's or if they're kind of a little nervous about that.
I think they're going to try their best to keep those two separate because there's a whole legal thing over Quicksilver to be in the movies. I guess the deal was that in the Avengers movie they can't refer to him as a mutant, and you can't refer to his parentage with Magneto as well.
Right.
So there was some little. So they're going to try to separate the two characters as best they can, I imagine. So they'll probably go in two kind of different, not wholly different directions because Quicksilver's still Quicksilver.
Right.
But I'm sure he'll try to do his own thing and they'll try to separate them.
Yeah.
And besides, I think he'll have a larger role in Avengers 2 than Quicksilver had in Days of Future Past. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, guys, it's Pat.
And Tyler.
And we are the co-hosts of the Nerd You're Looking For podcast.
We're just two nerds that love talking about nerd stuff, whether it be comics, video games, movies, or TV shows. We start every episode off talking about what we're into. We talk about how we've become the nerds we are today. We go through our nerd news, all the breaking nerd news throughout the week. And we end each episode with a review or a top 5 of something in pulp culture that we love.
It is a bi-weekly podcast that posts every other Monday. You can find all of our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and our companion blog, thenerdspodcast.com. And we are the nerds you're looking for. Take it easy, guys.
See ya.
That was great. Thank you.
I agree, Robert.
Yeah. So, you guys want to be on? You should. It'll be fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. Are you gonna come back around? What? Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, what? Review yogurt? I don't want to review yogurt. Yuri. Bye.
So, mac and cheese? Mac and cheese. Segue. I saw the movie Chef before we got here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I said that to Tiny yesterday, and he didn't know anything about it, which is kind of disappointing.
Hi, how's it going?
We got someone who wants to say hi.
Want to be on the podcast? Sure. Cool. Yeah, just get up there. Tell us your name, where you're from, and your favorite movie.
All right. My name is Micah. I'm from Indianapolis, and my favorite movie is probably UHF.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Great pick.
Nice.
Very cool.
Love that movie.
Very cool.
How about your favorite show?
Favorite show? God. Somewhere between Doctor Who and Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
Can't go wrong.
I know.
Keys to my heart.
All right.
I love both of those. Well, thanks, man. Since you're in Indianapolis, we're having a benefit thing for aspiring filmmakers in the area. We're basically renting out the Irving Theater in Irvington, and we're going to have a bunch of filmmakers submit short films, and we're going to have like costume contests. Probably. It's all in the planning stages, but it's going to be a whole thing, and we're going to hopefully get the rights to screen the original Halloween to cap off the night. So there's a flyer right there. We don't really have much information on there. The QR code takes you to the event page if you're interested in that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks
Also, grab a card. We're going to put your little clip on an episode so you can listen.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks
thanks.
Take it easy.
stopping
Thank
by.
you.
Have fun.
So Chef. Yeah, Chef was written, directed, and starring Jon Favreau.
Yep.
Okay.
Older people know from Swingers. Not as old people know played Monica's boyfriend for a couple episodes on
yes.
Friends. And younger people don't know but should know that he directed the first two Iron Man films.
Right.
Yeah.
He was also Happy.
He played Happy, yeah. He played, is it Butler? What is it? It's his driver. Tony Stark's
kind of
bodyguard,
security guy.
driver, security guy.
Yeah.
My wife knows him from I Love You Man, where he plays Jamie Presley's husband.
Scene-stealing performance. I love...
All right, Beatles or the Rolling Stones on 3. 1, 2, 3. F*** you. Shut up.
Full House.
You play the game. Yeah. It's just he has that he plays such an asshole in that movie.
Yeah.
It kills me every time.
Smells like a pet shop in here.
Yes.
Tonight you're going to wear the cheerleader outfit.
We're going to have
sex with the lights on.
Sex with the lights on.
So anyway, I love Jon Favreau, is what I'm trying to say. And I listened to the commentary track on I Love You Man, and I Love You Man came out, or they were filming I Love You Man as the first Iron Man came out in 2008. Okay, so Iron Man, as we all know, skyrocketed. Okay,
Yes.
made millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars in its opening weekend. Big deal. And so he was filming his scenes and kind of channeling his big head about that movie while filming his scenes on that. And it's the only instance I can think of him being anything other than humble. Because anything I see him in or on, he seems like a fantastic guy, a guy you'd really want to hang out with.
Yeah.
So Chef is kind of...
I don't think it's picking up.
So Chef is kind of a passion project for his, or at least that's what he said. What I like to call a return to form, because he did Swingers, he did Maid, which is not as good as Swingers, I don't think. And it's the story about he is obviously a chef. He works for a restaurant. And so there's a reviewer coming into town, and he wants to do kind of a customized menu for the day where he gets to show his chops, pun entirely intended. And so the restaurant's owner, played by Dustin Hoffman, tells him to stick to the classics, and he has a great line about if you bought tickets to see Rolling Stones and Jagger didn't play Satisfaction, you'd be pissed, right? So he wants to do the same old, and so the reviewer rips him a new one and gives him a pretty poor review, and so things happen where he loses his job, and he ends up buying a food truck and touring the country, and he also has a son with his ex-wife, played by Sofia Vergara, And it's the story of him reconnecting with his son, reconnecting with his roots, which is kind of allegorical to Jon Favreau's story.
Right.
And it was awesome. It was just cute as a button. Nice. The little kid was great. I love how they integrated Twitter and technology. It was a very forward-thinking movie about a pretty simple plot. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention how awesome Sofia Vergara was in this movie.
Really?
How great of an actress she can be when she's not shouting. She was good. Yeah. Yay! And then there was also a short. Well, it's not short. He was in it for a little while. He was Jon Favreau's sidekick. Was played by John Leguizamo.
Oh yeah, I heard he's really good in that.
Who is fantastic.
Nice.
So highly recommend.
Sweet.
On that movie.
I think that's playing at the Keystone Art Theater that I mention all the time on here. I really want to see it because I heard him talk on Nerdist podcast, which fantastic episode. I referenced it in an episode of this a while ago, but fantastic episode. He's so charming. He's so cool that it made me love him even more. So watching that or listening to that, and then watching. I just lost my train of thought. So I really wanted to see that because of that, and then also, I mean, food trucks. I don't know, Mike, about in Evansville, but I mean, few years ago, food trucks just exploded in Indianapolis.
That they did, and
it's been huge. I'm just a huge fan of following them around and tasting the food and all that. So I really want to check it out. And I'll definitely have to.
What a lot of people say about the movie, a lot of the reviewers, and Jon Favreau himself said this on the Nerdist podcast, is he wants people to see the movie and want the food.
Yeah.
And he does a really, really good job about that. I will say I'm not a foodie, so it didn't do that for me, but a portion of the film takes place in New Orleans.
Oh, nice.
And the movie made me want to go back to New Orleans. And he eats beignets at Café du Monde, and so that was probably my favorite part, was
making me hungry.
Being in New Orleans, and now I want to go back and eat a donut at Café du Monde. So,
that's awesome.
Like I said, highly recommend.
Cool.
Chef.
Nice.
Cool.
Catch it in theaters if you can. If not, just find a way to see it. It's great.
Nice.
What are you guys into?
Actually, I wanted to talk about a movie. It's almost awkward to bring it up because it's like it's pretty perverse.
Okay.
It's a movie called Adore, and it came out. I think it's 2013, but it's 2013. It stars Naomi Watts and Robin Wright, and they play two. Kind of, I don't know about middle age, but like a little bit older, 40s women who are they're best friends, and they've been best friends since they were kids.
Okay.
And they live right next to each other, and they both have children. They have two sons, and they're essentially men now. They're in their late teens or early 20s, and basically it just turns out that they start sleeping with each other's sons.
Rawr.
And oh my goodness,
I thought that was Matt for a second.
That was awesome timing too. What we're talking about. Yeah.
How you doing?
How's it going? We're talking about a movie. How's it going? Oh, sorry. I should probably lower that for you.
I apparently just startled you and apparently had awesome timing. I'd like to know what the timing was all about.
Oh yeah. Well, we're talking about a movie where some characters get into some relationship stuff at.
He goes, yeah, and they start to sleep with each other's sons, and you went, rah!
Perfect timing, yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us your name, where you're from, all that stuff?
Michelle Sinclair, Wood River, Illinois.
Nice.
I'm here to help friends with their business, and I've got some time before everything, so I thought we'd check stuff out.
Have you been by here before?
Yes, I have.
I remember you, okay.
Yes.
What's your friends' business?
They sell kind of a combination of Japanese tchotchke stuff, everything you could imagine, from like tea with infusers in it to like a mug that already has an infuser in it. You put the dry tea in it with hot water and
cool.
let it steep.
Will it get me high?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Big fancy tea sets, sushi sets, sake set. T-shirts, lots of T-shirts.
Of course, gotta have T-shirts.
Yes.
Cool.
Awesome.
Where's their booth at?
123 to 125.
123, 125. Awesome.
Cool.
That's
very cool.
Yes, we need people to buy.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Cool. Nice.
Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, no problem.
All right, have fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I will. I don't know where I'm headed, but
Oh, yeah?
yeah. Yesterday you asked me what my favorite movie was. That's
Yeah.
a long list.
It's tough. It's tough to pick one.
It really is. It really is. Which one did you give yesterday? Did you give one?
You were asking about movies and TV shows. I got into talking about Vampire Diaries and some other stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then I ended up getting to hug Sylvester McCoy because he was...
That's so awesome.
Well, he was during question and answer. I was going to find a seat. He walks up to me out of nowhere, shakes my hand, asks me what my name is. I tell him, and then he goes, runs off and does the other. And then from that point, I keep like seat jumping, and I eventually gave him a hug, and I told him I would just die if I could have like a picture of you. And he's like, "Well, you'll have to die then." Just,
oh wow,
it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he had the greatest sense of humor about everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he seemed to enjoy my fangirling, which only made it worse.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for stopping by again. If you didn't already, you can get like business cards, stickers,
Sure.
bookmarks,
I
all
already
that
grabbed some
stuff.
stuff, so I'll just grab another.
Cool. Well, thank you.
All right, cool.
All right.
How's your guys' day going?
It's going great. We're a little bummed that this is ending. Because we're loving this. This is our first convention ever, and it's just a blast.
Well, the small ones are just as good as the big ones, and
Yeah.
in Collinsville, Illinois, our con is the Party Con, and
Okay.
that's October 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Nice.
And
Okay.
if you go over to the Doubletree, there is booze that you get if you're of age.
Right,
for
right.
free.
Nice. Okay.
For free.
That we might have to do a road trip, guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, no problem.
The
And then,
mic is kind of lowering a little
small,
bit.
Small convention just kind of has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The rooms are always amazing. They have stuff even in the hallways.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
remember when the Carrie movie was first coming out, there was somebody
yeah?
dressed up like Carrie, and I gave her a hug, got a free T-shirt.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool.
So,
Awesome.
it's endless wonders, whether it's the small ones or the big ones. The small ones don't have the big show of the celebrities.
Right.
They have things that you love regardless at any con.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, we're having a blast here.
There might be
It's so much
voice
fun.
actors, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. Well, thanks again for stopping by. This has been great.
Oh, yeah, and 501st is there as well. They have, you can pay $5 for 5 minutes to put somebody in a cage.
Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Beware of people who take it the wrong way and be douchebags about it.
Yeah. Yeesh. Yeah, you'll have some of that at some of
It's
these.
for charity. It's for fun.
Yeah.
No need to take it seriously.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently that happened at the last ASTL, so.
Oh, really?
Some people took it seriously, and it's like they got to the point where if you run away or you break loose, we're not catching you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's like we already got what we needed for the charity.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Huh. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you again so much. Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Have a good one.
Bye.
So sleeping with each other's kids.
Yes, mother sleeping with sons.
Yes.
No, it's not. There's no incest, but it's a really. It was a really like it started out, and like I said, it was like pretty perverse. I mean, it's just these milfs, for lack of a better word, hooking up with these young guys, but it really turned into a really. Really heartfelt and like genuine kind of relationshipy movie, and it didn't seem so weird by the end. It was really well done. I was Naomi Watts is pretty much my favorite actress.
Oh, she's amazing.
And Robin Wright is never bad. And then the two men who played their sons were also really impressive. Most impressively was a gentleman by the name of Xavier Samuel.
Most impressive.
Most impressive. Anyways, I feel like I've seen him in something before, but Xavier Samuel is his name again. I really liked him. He is Australian. Let's see. He was in one of the Twilight movies.
Which one?
He was...
They're all the same, doesn't matter.
Yeah, Eclipse, the one... He played like Victoria's little henchman who went out and like tried to recruit people for the war or something.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know why I know that. So yeah, he was really good in Adore. I was
Nice.
I mean, I was kind of blown away by him. He was really good.
Nice.
The movie, like I said, the movie starts out pretty perverse, but
Yeah.
it turns into a really quality relationship kind of movie. So
That's
I
awesome.
recommend it. I think most people would like it. Don't watch it with your parents. So yeah, check it out. It's on Netflix Instant.
Don't watch it with your friend and your parent and your mom.
Thank you.
Is that
Mike.
a reference to me and Tiny seeing Brokeback Mountain with my mom?
No, but
have I told this story before?
No.
Tiny, do you remember this?
It was a reference to the plot of the movie.
She kept like
Oh, I got you.
she kept like wincing whenever they were banging in the tent.
Yeah,
when we were
I think it
watching
was
Brokeback
when.
Mountain.
Yeah,
That was funny.
I think it was when. Was it Heath Ledger that did it, or was it
Does what?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
spit on his hand to
Jake Gyllenhaal spits on his hand.
Yeah, I
spits
think
on his own.
that was pretty much the worst part of my entire life. Watching that with my mom.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for what I've watched lately, it's funny because I went through my list just now, trying to find something that I've watched lately, and pretty much everything I've watched for the last few weeks has been in preparation for episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
So, but one movie that I did watch was this movie called A.C.O.D. A.C.O.D. It has Adam Scott. It stands for Adult Children of Divorce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got him, Jane Lynch. It has a really good cast. I'm blanking on most of them though. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Nice.
And it's got a bunch of people, and it's about this guy who Richard Jenkins is in it. I'm a big fan of. So Adam Scott plays this guy who his parents divorced when he was a kid, and his brother's getting married. I can't remember who plays his brother. I want to say it's either Josh Gad or the dude. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Wow.
I know the guy from Hot Tub Time Machine, the kid.
Clark Duke.
Clark Duke. Nice.
Jinx.
Ditto. I want to say it's Clark Duke. Yeah.
Jinx
but
again. Our
anyway.
mental synchronization
God
can
damn it.
have but one explanation.
So anyway, sorry. So anyway, he's getting married. So it's basically the movie starts out with Adam Scott trying to reunite his mother and father. Not reunite them, but get them to a place where they can sit in the same room together without going crazy and screaming and causing a scene. All in service for his brother's wedding. But, which that alone could have sustained itself for an entire 90-minute movie. That could have sustained itself. But it only lasts for about 20 minutes into the movie. And then they don't necessarily discard it, but there's a development that, it's not really a spoiler, but he finds out that a psychologist that he met with as a kid was actually doing a study on children of divorce. And so he finds out that he's a character in this book of this study on children of divorce. And she finds him, or he finds her, because he was under the impression that she was a psychologist that was doing that, and he needed to speak to her again. Mm-hmm. So then she kind of runs with it. She's very eccentric, and she wants to do a study of a follow-up, doing like adult children of divorce. And from there, it's a lot of like her talking to him, and him, it's kind of gets a little muddled, a little kind of a little dodgy there. It's kind of, it could have been a lot better, but it's not really that memorable. That's why I'm kind of struggling to come up with anything to really say about it, because I kind of saw it and it kind of shut down. I wasn't blown away by it. The cast is better than the movie. I think that might be a little harsh, but I stand by it. Yeah, and there was a weird like editing thing. There was some touchy editing stuff. Like there was one scene where they're at a Japanese restaurant or something, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead is kind of looking around, and they edited together that she's in different. Her face is looking in different directions through each individual snap of frame, and it was really jarring. But I mean, it was an enjoyable enough movie. Someone might get more into it than I did. I'm not sure if it's on Instant, but it might be. But it's like a hour and 27-minute runtime. It's not a big commitment.
Cool.
What's left to see this summer? I feel, for me, the most anticipated was Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And now that that's out of the way, I'm trying to think of what else is going on. We have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised how many people are excited about that.
Really?
Me too.
Yeah.
Really?
Why do you say really?
Because the trailer just blew me away. Both of them have blown me away.
But the reason why I say that is because it's like a borderline obscure title from Marvel, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is an obscure title from Marvel. Yeah. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy as a title has been around for several years, but in its current incarnation, not that long at all. Like 2008, I think.
But I'm coming from it from someone who doesn't really know much about the comics anyway.
Okay.
So I just see the trailer and I see, holy crap, Chris Pratt is awesome, and there's a raccoon, there's a tree, and it looks stylish as hell. The soundtrack, I know the music that's been playing in the trailers is going to be in the movie. It's going to be a whole big arc with his or a whole big thing with his. He has a mixtape. Because it's like the only thing he has from Earth, and it all has these songs on it. I just love it. I love the tone, and it's James Gunn. He's awesome. I'm just so pumped for it, and I'm kind of shocked that you guys kind of aren't really that enthused.
Oh, no.
I mean,
no. You are wrong, sir. I am enthused.
Right.
I'm saying I have heard from multiple people who think they are most excited for this movie compared to any other movie this summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's
including
surprising.
people who know who the X-Men are, and that's what I don't understand.
It could be that they were just so burned by X-Men Origins and The Last Stand.
It could be.
Yeah.
But
plus, this was the 7th X-Men movie.
That's true.
This is the
Sure.
first Guardians movie.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Maybe it's that.
So is it the relief that they're excited for? Something new?
Something fresh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Huh, that's interesting. Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that could be cool.
It looks pretty cool. I like the music in the trailer too.
Matt, you and I don't remember what Tiny said, but you and I were both fans of Oblivion.
Yeah.
And we're in the minority there.
Really?
Yeah, most
I
people
liked it
didn't.
a lot.
You liked it too?
Nice.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay, good. Yeah. Most people, I think, didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
I don't know.
It seemed it
Didn't make a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It was formulaic, but it was fun formulaic.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think what I said about it was people called it derivative, and I said it was more homage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It felt like a Philip K. Dick story.
Sure.
That's how it felt
Sure.
to me, and I was like, I was super into it from beginning to end. And
Yep.
Edge of Tomorrow looks really cool, and I mean, they can really overplay the kind of Groundhog Day kind of time loop aspect of it, but I think it looks like it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Emily Blunt as an action star. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Right. It's good for her.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah, I like anything Tom Cruise sci-fi.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good. It's not getting good buzz, and I don't know that anyone is excited for it, but I certainly am. That's going to be awesome. We saw a trailer while we were watching Days of Future Past for The Fault in Our Stars.
Yes, which...
And Matt, you turned to me. I had already said that I was excited about it, but Matt, you turned to me before it started. The problem, you got to push it out,
yeah.
so it's more centered.
Tiny, do you have the pliers? Yeah. Okay, so Fault in Our Stars. You and your wife read the book together?
We read the book together, yeah, and I'm working on for the blog to do a adaptations and remakes.
Sweet.
And so, well, I'll pause for you. So I'm going to do an adaptations and remakes for it. And we've been excited for the movie for a while. And I love Ansel Elgort. He was in Carrie. I thought he was one of the better parts of Carrie. And I also like Shailene Woodley. I think she was really good in The Descendants. Mm-hmm. Disappointed to not see her as Mary Jane in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. So I think they got the right people to be in the movie. I know that John Green, the author of the book, is very hands-on with this movie, so I'm excited to see where that goes. So anyway, we're watching the trailers last night to Adam Sandler's newest gem, and Matt turns to me and he goes, "Oh, Yeah, I'm excited for that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it myself.
Little distracted. Might have to edit this part out.
Yeah.
Might.
Yeah, that was my first time ever seeing that trailer because I haven't read the book yet. I intend to quickly read the book. Yeah, there's a really great review of it on ObsessiveBookNerd.com by my friend Sam. But it, I knew a little bit about the story. And it has like cancer or something in it.
Yeah, something like that.
The leads have cancer, and I was so afraid that it would be like a kind of a scare, kind of a downer. And it may be, but Mike, you refer to it as cute. The story,
it's adorable.
Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, so the trailer just looks like it'll be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm also excited for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm planning on hopefully getting through the franchise like I did with X-Men. It should be fun.
What's that?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
go right ahead.
sure. Yeah. Sorry, I got the headphones going.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You could take a card too if you want, and a bookmark. Cool. Thank you.
So, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes,
Right, which I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen.
Oh
any,
man,
I haven't seen.
It was a
any
surprise
of the
movie
bits.
for
That's
me
what
the
I
year
heard.
it came out.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen any of the franchise yet. That's why I'm kind of excited to get through the franchise.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good movie.
I like the new casting choices too. Jason Clarke needs to be in more things.
he is awesome. I think
Really
I
good.
want to say, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to be in a movie about Everest or something.
No idea.
Okay. I want to say he's in that. He is some movie about Everest or something.
Another Australian.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What about 22 Jump Street?
I'm really excited for that.
The first one was also a surprise movie of that year.
Yeah. But I think it was the trailer. I may have said this before on the podcast, but the trailer for it looks just like a rehash of the plot of the first movie, which I'm against all the time. But it sounds like it looks like it'll just be freaking hilarious.
Yeah, they make the joke. What's his name? Ron Swanson. What's his name?
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman. That's right. Nick Offerman makes a joke while they're in his office about how they did the reboot, and people are just looking for you to do the same thing or something like that.
Yeah.
They did the reboot, and for some reason people liked it, so we're doing it again. And that was pretty funny. But not sure if it's enough new. Like, just saying the joke doesn't absolve you of rehashing.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. The trailer makes it look like it's going to be hilarious. How do you guys feel about A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Weird. I don't know how to feel about it. Until I read an article that featured Seth MacFarlane, I thought that it was a time travel movie.
Really?
The way he talked.
Huh.
The way he spoke.
Yeah.
The things he said and the attitude he had about the movie is so not period appropriate. And then I read an interview where he said it's like a time travel movie without time travel.
Interesting.
And so then I'm okay with it. I mean, I know that it's a Seth MacFarlane comedy, and I'll kind of give it that. I was one of the few non-fans of the movie Ted. I thought that movie was highly overrated.
You know, that took me a couple viewings to really appreciate, and after, I mean, that's about as much tread as that movie has, as a couple viewings.
Yeah,
and
I'm surprised you saw it so many times.
Yeah.
Did you like Ted, Tiny?
I did.
You did?
And I liked it from the get-go when I saw it in the theater.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was a fan.
It had moments.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty one note.
Yeah. The trailer for A Million Ways to Die in the West looks really funny, and I'm a little mad that they use the...
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Why don't you tell us your name and where you're from?
I'm Alex. I'm from Indianapolis.
Okay. Nice to meet you. What's your... how do you feel about A Million Ways to Die in the West?
About what?
The movie A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Looking forward to it?
I haven't seen it, but it looks pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. We haven't seen it either. Are you... Did the trailers do anything for you or anything?
I've seen one of the trailers.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything else, but I thought it would look pretty funny. So
Yeah, we think so too.
Tell us what in the world you're doing to that poor bear.
He's blind.
He's blind?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I thought you were blindfolding him.
Yeah.
Well, his eyes are really weird, and so she's trying to make him feel a little more comfortable.
Oh, it's a nice thing. What's your cosplay as? What are...
Razel from Hatenko Yugi, which is Dazzle.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Anime
Nice.
and manga.
Nice, all right.
Cool. Looks good.
Thank you.
Nice, yeah. Are you enjoying the convention?
Yeah, I am. This is my
Awesome.
first day, so.
Oh, okay, cool. We've been here all 3 days, so we're
Really?
kind of...
Cool.
Yeah, we're loving it. It's awesome.
So you're doing a podcast right now?
We are indeed.
Yeah, we're recording it. It'll be posted next week.
cool.
Yeah, it's not live or anything.
Okay.
But yeah. So no pressure.
Sweet.
Yeah. Are you into podcasts at all?
I've listened to a few. Have you ever heard of Cheshire Cat Studios?
I don't think so.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I've seen a few of them, so.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can take one of our cards and our stickers, and you can be into podcasts now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
No problem.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by.
you.
Great talking to you.
Bye.
I have a bone to pick with the A Million Ways to Die in the West trailer because
Pick that bone.
it gave away.
Speaking of which, I spilled coffee on my crotch this morning. Speaking of bones.
Yes, you did.
And Tiny goes, now it'll be up all day.
Yep.
Oh, that was brilliant. So I'm afraid that there is a cameo in the trailer for A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh.
And I'm so pissed that they put that in the trailer.
Me too. The second trailer.
Yeah.
By the way,
yeah.
it was the second trailer.
So that is, it's got to be the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
It has to be. And they completely overplayed their hand with that.
I almost want to not laugh in protest while I'm there. We could save this for another discussion, but we've got a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
This whole trailer culture that we have now, I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of trailers. And you mentioned early on, and we've mentioned several times before, that I see a movie every week, so I see most trailers several times.
Yeah.
And I get tired of seeing the trailers as it is, but you would expect that seeing things so many times. The problem I have is how much they reveal in trailers. I can't believe it anymore. I can't believe how much they bank on those trailers. The biggest foul was probably the Amazing Spider-Man 2 promotion. There were very few surprises in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. And it's been a couple of weeks now, so I can say this without spoiling too much. The very last scene in the movie is in the trailers.
It is.
It even cuts off at the end of the movie, cuts 2 credits the same way it cuts in the trailers. And that's unforgivable.
I didn't even know that.
Really? Lucky you.
I haven't seen
Lucky
seen the
you.
trailers that much for that.
Okay, well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like the industry as a whole should put just say, okay, you can cut together a trailer. That's great. Do it from the first half of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing from the last half.
It's a good idea.
Or just leave it. Most trailers, all teasers, and most first trailers are put out when the movie is unfinished.
Yeah.
Right, that's most of the case, is the movie is unfinished. I wish they would just leave it at that. I understand that they have to build momentum. I get that, but I just wish we wouldn't see so damn much.
Yeah. It's damn kids today with their trailers.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Leave some stuff up to the imagination.
Yeah. I think it's just it's an example of the industry, the film industry, just getting far away from the art of it, the storytelling. It's all teetering more into the business aspect of it. It's a shame because they're not making the trailers to make you interested in the art of it.
No.
They're making trailers to get your asses in the seats.
Right.
And it's a problem.
There are very few trailers that get me excited. Edge of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think has me that trailer has me excited. I'm kind of confused about what's going on in the trailer, and I love it that way.
And I love that.
One of my
There's
favorite
fun
trailers were the Inception trailers, and I remember saying out loud, "I have no idea what that's about or what's going on, but I'm absolutely going to see it."
Yeah,
yeah. And I like the. That's why I liked the teaser for Interstellar. because it showed no real scenes from the movie or anything like that.
Yeah.
Good point.
And
we talked about that trailer.
We did.
It showed nothing.
Yeah. And I loved it, and they've since released the full trailer for it, and they showed some stuff, but it still kept it more on the personal story of Matthew McConaughey's character. They didn't go into any detail of any of the other big events in the movie or anything like that.
They show almost no space.
Exactly.
Which is cool.
Yeah, very cool.
How do you guys feel about that tagline? They were mankind was created on Earth, but they were never meant to stay
on Earth.
Was born on Earth. They were never meant to stay there.
Die there?
Yeah, it was
die there.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it is.
It's mankind was born on Earth. It was never meant to have died here, or something like that. It's a weird phrasing. It's too long,
and it doesn't make sense. What does that mean? What says who?
Yeah,
who was arguing? who is standing on a pedestal going, "We must die on Earth. We were never meant to. You're crazy."
Maybe you can be that guy, Mike.
I guess I guess I have to.
I mean, I appreciate the actual what it's trying to say. I mean, it makes sense to me. I do, because the whole movie's about it appears that the whole movie's about how, like they talk about in the trailer, that it's that the Earth is its resources are being depleted and everything. We need to find a new planet and all that, a new home. That's it seems like that's what the mission. That seems to be what the main thing of.
Okay.
Yeah.
The quote implies creation, I think.
I don't think it does.
And if it's implying a creation, it's saying it's making some suggestion. Hold on. I need to regather my thoughts. What was I going to say? Like I said, it begs a question. It begs the question using the logical fallacy rhetorical sense of the word. It begs the question, and that implies that somebody said we were supposed to die here. Okay? And if you believe what we believe, and you believe in evolution, we evolved to grow here on Earth. So Earth, we were not meant to do anything. We die here because we came from here. I don't understand what it means.
I don't...
Go ahead. Make this work, apologist.
I honestly
Nolan fanboy.
You can check out the Nolan retrospective on our podcast. But I think you might be reading a little too much into it, reading into something that's not there.
Okay.
I don't think it's implying creation. It said mankind was born here. I know the creation is not in the tagline. I'm trying to Google it, but service here is big convention. But it says mankind was born here. It was not meant to die here or something like that. And I don't think that implies any kind of creation or anything like that.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Maybe I misspoke. I don't think it's a movie about God, and I don't think it's about creation either.
Not at all.
I'm just saying...
But I understand what you're saying. Like, we started here, we evolved for this planet, but the planet has a finite number of resources and everything, and the whole pull of the movie is that they need to go find a new everything.
Hello.
How's it going?
How you doing?
My name is Stafa.
Nice to meet you.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you? How are you enjoying the convention?
Right. I got a booth over here. Whoops. I kicked the thing.
That's all right.
I got a game called Beware the Bully.
Beware the Bully?
Have you played it?
No, a friend of mine came, a friend of ours was talking about it, loved it.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Where can we find you online?
If you go to the Facebook page for my podcast, Out It Continues, so it's facebook.com/Out It Continues.
Sweet.
It's pinned up on the top.
Awesome.
So you'll see, post for Beware the Bully.
Nice.
Completely free to play. It's only 6 levels, so you'll be in like 10 minutes.
Nice.
Cool.
You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's my it's my senior project.
Okay.
I was going to IUPUI. Mm-hmm. I'm a game designer, so for my senior project, decided to make a game.
That's
makes
awesome.
sense. So one person did the graphics, another person did the music, and I did everything else.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That's
if
really
you
cool.
have fun with it, it's because of me. I decided to have fun.
That's awesome.
Right
And,
on.
I wanted to have a positive message in my game, so I decided anti-bullying.
Nice.
And there's only one enemy in the entire game, just the bully, and you overcome him with a non-violent solution.
Awesome.
So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Nice.
I like
That's awesome.
That's great.
So check it out, facebook.com/outofcontinues. You'll find it pinned on the top right there.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thanks for stopping by. Take a business card, and we'll put this up probably here next week.
I'll give you a business card, too.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Yeah. And
Fact.
we're also doing this thing at the Irving Theater in Irvington. We're renting the theater. We're having amateur filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers create short films. We're going to screen them, all that stuff. We're trying to get the rights to screen the original Halloween. It's going to be kind of a big thing. We have a flyer over there it's called Shocktober in Irvington. That QR code takes you to the event page. We're working on getting the website and everything worked out for it.
Yeah.
So it's still in the planning stages, but we're really excited about it. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're free to check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me on here.
Yeah, no problem, man.
You guys have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
You too.
So what were we saying?
His logo's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
It is very cool.
Talking about
I love it.
talking about
Oh, the
we
trailer
were never
for-
meant to die here.
Yeah.
Tagline.
Did,
yeah. I think what it implies is that the next logical step in the evolution of our race, of our species, is that we're supposed to leave the planet.
Yeah.
That's what I think it implies. I don't think it implies anything that's like a creation type
Right.
thing.
I wish that I didn't say the creation thing. 'cause
Yeah, you're regretting that, aren't you?
I really want to take that back, yeah.
That's all right.
I'm just talking about, I just mean it in the sense of the antithesis of evolution.
Okay.
And that the Earth, the state of the Earth today and the state of the human race today are concurrent, okay? We've done each to each other. And I also have said many times that in several years, long after the three of us are gone, and anybody listening to this are gone, when humans are gone, the Earth is just going to shake us off our back like some fleas and be done with us. So again, I'll say it again. Who is asking where we were meant to die?
I think the first line in the phrase is spiritual.
Okay.
I think that's maybe where the creation thing sort of hinted at you.
There.
But I think the second line is logical science, scientifically logical. That's kind of how I feel.
Okay, the official tagline, I brought it up now.
There we go.
Mankind was born on Earth. It was never meant to die here. The first line is just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it goes back to the teaser trailer. The teaser trailer showed a lot of footage of the space program, and with the voiceover of McConaughey saying that we've lost our way, and our sense of exploration faded away, and then now it's time to go back. Or I can't remember the exact line. It gave me chills when I heard it. That our destiny is not in front of us, but above us. And it's just kind of plays on the whole fact that, I mean, if we're using up the resources of the planet, we should find a new planet. It's about self-preservation. I don't see it as anything more than that. And I feel like that's going to be the big draw of the movie, or the big hook of the movie. And it may go into some spiritual stuff or some theological or just
I doubt it will. I doubt it will. I don't think
I
so at all.
misspoke. Not theological, but more philosophical and kind of those kind of questions. And I'm really excited about it. It's my most anticipated movie for this year, honestly. So yeah, that's that.
I guess it's just a vague tagline. I don't know.
It is. I do have a problem with just the wording of it. It's just such a clunky. Mankind was born on Earth. It was never meant to die here.
At the end of it, I just go, okay.
Yeah, it's such a.
I don't. You think when you see a Nolan trailer or a Nolan tagline, you go, "Oh man,
yeah,
we were never meant to." That's awesome.
Yeah,
they say it, and I go, "Okay." And chocolate cake is good.
If it was just we were never meant to die here, that would be better.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
we're not
maybe
meant to die here. Something like that. It is your mind is the scene of the crime. It's not. It's not that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. So. Yeah.
A guy just walked by us who had a sonic screwdriver in a holster. Love it.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah, and he's dressed in a brown coat.
Yeah, he's dressed as Captain Brown Pants. So
sweet,
whatever.
Sweet. Yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Get to mingling with the con goers some more. Go out and about to some of the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to check out Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So thanks for listening, guys. If you're a new listener from the convention, thank you so much. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, all those places. I don't have my tablet with my cheat sheet for the sign-off, so I'm kind of freeballing in here.
I failed to mention that. That is why we're back here at Microsoft right now.
I don't know what that was, but anyway.
Look at one of those rare remains.
So, yeah, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, leave us a review, check us out on podcastland.com, vote for us for Podcast of the Month. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and you can email us at our name at obsessiveviewer.com. So Matt at obsessiveviewer.com, Tiny at obsessiveviewer.com, and Mike at obsessiveviewer.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter at obsessiveviewer, at obsessivetiny, and at I am Mike White, respectively. And, check out the website, obsessiveviewer.com. Also check out obsessivebooknerd.com for book reviews, and thesecularperspective.com for a side project podcast run by Tiny about secularism and religion and healthy debate and discussion of those two topics in the world today. So I probably forgot some stuff, so why don't we just wrap it up?
Sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you to everyone
Thanks
who
for
stopped.
listening.
Thank you so much.
We were born to talk about movies and TV,
Awesome.
but you were never born to die listening to us.
Awesome.
We just got dropped off a bunch of wristbands.
Wristbands!
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Oh, that lady just dropped them all off. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt.
Stopwatch. Okay. Should we do a customized intro?
What do you mean?
How should we do, names? This is obsessiveviewer.com's the Obsessive Viewer podcast live at Indy PopCon, at our booth at Indy PopCon. Should I say that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Matt Hurt at... I almost said at the Obsessive Viewer. Oh my god, blooper reel, I never do this. Anyway.
God damn it.
I'm so sorry.
Matt's not tired yet.
I'm not. All right.